Hello, my name is Juan Vasquez. I'm a technical application specialist with Novo software. We often get the question about whether or not FCS Express will run on a Mac system. While FCS Express is a native Windows application, it will run on Macintosh hardware through the use of virtualization software such as VMware Fusion, Parallels, and Boot Camp, just to name a few. For those of you that aren't familiar, virtualization software allows you to run a separate operating system as a separate window within the Mac environment. So, for example, just like you would run Safari or iTunes in a separate window, you would run your virtualization software running another operating system within a separate window and just open up that window just like you would any other native Mac application. So for today's demo, what I'm going to show you is how we can use FCS Express 5 on a Mac through the use of VMware Fusion 7 specifically. Okay, so I do have VMware Fusion 7 installed on here. So I'm just going to open it up from my dock. And I already have Windows 7 64-bit running in the background. So to install an operating system into the virtualization software, you will need an installation disk or a copy of that operating system as an ISO file. Okay, and then you could easily just load that operating system and install that operating system within the virtualization software just using the new option here. I'm not necessarily going to show you how to do that today. I'm just going to focus on how we can install FCS Express within the environment. But if you are interested, you can download these virtualization softwares as a trial version and experiment it with yourself using your operating system of choice. Okay, so within the Windows 7 environment here, I have downloaded the executable for FCS Express 5 64-bit, and we can do that from our website. So if you go open up your browser and go to www.denovosoftware.com, from the Downloads tab, underneath All Downloads, you can find the executable that you need for FCS Express 5. And now that FCS Express 5 is available in 64-bit, you can see that we have the appropriate sections for each installation type. Okay, so for this particular demo, I've already downloaded the FCS Express 5 plus 64-bit, and that executable is already on my desktop. Okay, so to run this, I'm just going to double click on it, and the installation is going to occur just as it would occur on a dedicated Windows system. Okay, so for the security warning, I'm just going to click on Run. And then just to, for the user account control, just to verify that, I'm going to click on Yes. And then for the wizard, I'm just going to click on Next, accept the agreement, and then just keep on clicking on Next until you get to Install. I'll click the Install button, and then all the files that we need for FCS Express will load on your virtual environment. So similar to a dedicated Windows system, you will need administrative privileges if you don't already. So just be aware that you will need administrative access to install a program in your Windows environment, just as before. Okay, so once the setup is complete, we're going to click on Finish. And then we'll find the application here within our Start menu. Okay, so we've installed FCS Express. That's fine. So there's a second part to it. So now we need a configuration file. And the configuration file tells FCS Express what kind of license you're using. Okay, single user, internet dongle, whatever it is that you've purchased as part of the software package. Okay, now the configuration file is typically emailed to you or the administrator who purchased the software, so you can access it as an attachment from an email. Okay, and that's what I've done here. So I actually have my config file. I've downloaded it onto my desktop. But if you don't have access to the email that contained the config file, you can also access it through the installation of FCS Express. So after we've installed FCS Express, we're going to run FCS Express. So FCS Express knows that we don't have a config file yet. So the configuration file setup wizard will appear. So I'm just going to click on Next. And we have different ways of how we can retrieve our config file. So we can automatically, through this wizard, log into Novo software using your Novo software account information. Okay, so if I click on Next, I just need to put that information here using the email and password that I used to purchase the software. Once I click Next, Any software that was purchased underneath this account information, whether it was a purchase version or a demo version, will be available to you here. All you need to do is select it and click Next, and FCS Express will automatically download the config file. It will install it in the proper folder. It will take care of the rest, and you're good to go, and you can run FCS Express. If you don't have a de novo software account, you could always create one. Or if you have the config file and it was sent to you as an email and you have it as a separate attachment, you save it on the desktop, you can use the third option where you use a config file that you've already received. So if we select this, we're going to click on Next. We're going to click on the folder so we can navigate and find the config file that we've saved on our desktop. Okay, so I'm on my desktop. There's a config file. I'm going to select it. I'll click Open. I'm going to click on Next and then Finish. And FCS Express will run. Now, the first time that you run FCS Express, you will be presented with this registration question. Specifically, FCS Express uses two extensions to identify FCS Express documents. The first one is a .fey, and these questions are just asking you to confirm that every time you open a document that has a .fey extension, FCS Express will automatically launch to open that document. Here we're just going to click on Do Not Attempt to Register extension again and click on Yes. And the second extension that I mentioned is going to be a .fe_launch. Okay? Any document that has these type of extensions will be recognized by Windows or by the operating system of choice as a document that's going to be opened by FCS Express. Okay? So once we select this, we're going to click on Yes. And then we're going to be brought to the user selection screen within FCS Express. At this point, we can log in as a default user, or I could just create a new user. We'll click OK, and I'll tell the software to remember me on this computer. Okay? And then we'll be presented with the startup screen, which is a new feature to FCS Express 5. And we can see any trending updates that are directly from our website, whether we have new releases that are available, or maybe we want to access the video guide to see some brief tutorials on how to do some of the basic functionality within FCS Express. Maybe when we want to contact support, or maybe we just want to open up the manual if we just want to search for a particular topic, such as custom tokens, for example. Or we can open a previously existing layout or just create a new layout. If I just click on New Layout, a blank layout in FCS Express will automatically open. Okay? And you can see here this is all fully functional. I can do whatever I need to do. I can just, if I want to insert some plots, I just navigate to my my data. Here, my data actually is resides on the Mac operating system rather than in the Windows environment. And I can just try to find where I actually put that data. Okay? And we can easily just switch this around if we need to make gates. You can see that you're well on your way. Okay? So if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@denovosoftware.com, or you could just go to our website, either denovosoftware.com or fcsexpress.com. And from there, you'll be able to find a wealth of information as it relates to FCS Express. From the support tab, you can find many different categories that you can use as a resource, whether you want to look up our tutorials or maybe you just want to download the manual. You can do that as well. Or maybe you want to look at our library of previously recorded webinars. You can find them all on here on our website. So if you have any questions, again, please feel free to email us at support@denovosoftware.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and have a good day.